This is it. This is it. The podcast, My Road Trips Planner. Hey, my name is Shane. Welcome. If you're looking for a podcast that talks about road trips, you found it right here, right now. All right. I'm about to start cruising. I was thinking about a lot today. I got to talk about podcasting. And, the more I think about podcasting, it makes me really feel like I get to express myself in a sense. I get to talk about something I really love. And so I think I want to get three things today. Let me move that so there we go. That's the best I can do right now. But I want to talk about three things. I want to talk about purpose, passion, and action. Purpose, passion, and action, I think, are three words that can be pushed together. Purpose is finding something that you want to pursue, that it pushes you along. Passion is the thing that you do. So purpose, what is the purpose for your passion? And these are two things you can plan a lot about, but action is the word that gets you to the next level. I talked about in the last long podcast about just scheduling. And I hope I hope all of you were able to maybe set a day or maybe plan something so it's on the calendar and coming up soon, things like that. I hope so. I hope that, these podcasts help you. But purpose is that thing that gets you through the wall. So for me, I like podcasts. I want to talk about podcasting, not in the sense of podcasting, but I want to talk about road trips. I want to get out there. I want to explore. And, and I did that a lot in my 20s and my 30s. And, the older I get, there's more planning when you have kids and things like that. So you want to be, you want to plan the right plan. But a purpose is essentially the thing that's telling you, okay, I'm tired today. I don't know if I want to get up and do a podcast. For me, today was really difficult trying to get a podcast out. It really was not easy. There was a lot to do today. At our house right now, there's work being done at our house, construction. And it's been really good. And the gentleman that's been doing the construction, George John, he's been great. I think he's absolutely, he does a great job. He's professional and he gets it done. But, in a house, when you have a wife and you have two kids and everything's moved out of one room and it's been upside down for probably about a month and a half. And so you have to really plan these things. So, when one kid's room was being painted and being taken care of, I had to move everything out of one kid's room, everything. And then most of that stuff was in our dining room. So our dining room was taken over. And these are problems, but I know that I have a purpose. For me, it's just to get up and get these podcasts out there. And I don't know, maybe it's not for everybody, and that's okay. But I really enjoy doing them. I really enjoy speaking to you. And I hope you enjoy listening. But I think the biggest thing I've come to realize is that I need a purpose to get me up to do this. I need a purpose to push me to the next level. And then what's my passion? Okay, so I have a purpose that I want to do this to reach people, to encourage people. But what's that passion that I want to be purposeful about? And that is talking about road trips, helping people understand that, yes, it's tough planning a road trip, it's tough planning a vacation, but it can be done and you can make a difference. It just takes time. It just takes a lot more effort than we think. And it gets tougher as you add people to your family. Like, when I got married, it was easier for us to figure out between the two of us what we wanted to do on vacation or anything like that. And then when we had one kid, we had to deal with the baby time. We had to deal with the toddler time. And then all of a sudden there's another kid. And for some of you who have more than 2 kids, you have to go through that all over again for a third time. And so, right now, we're out of the toddler stage and we're into the kid stage, and even into the older kid stage where, my 11-year-old now, he doesn't want to do the same thing my 5-6-year-old does, and that's fine. That's part of growing up. And so we have to figure out and plan. So for me, going back to purpose, is that the purpose is to figure out what's going to push me, and then that passion that I'm pushing. So I'm pushing road trips, right? I'm telling you to get out there, do these road trips, get going, have fun, enjoy the planning, enjoy the execution of it, and then tell the stories. And those are the things that I always remember. Is I love talking about the places I've been. I love talking about the trips I've been on, and they're fun to talk about. But remember, you need the purpose first, because you need to understand why you're pursuing this passion. And then once you find your purpose, you pursue the passion to help keep you going. And so that purpose is keeping your passion going. And then the purpose, what your passion is. So my passion is talking about road trips. Your passion could be something else. But once you get to that point, now you go ahead and you jump to the next one, the action. You need to have the action to get to the next step. And so you have to get out there. So what your purpose is, what your passion is. So let's go back to me. My purpose is to reach people with this and to help them about road trips. And my passion is talking about road trips so I can help people. And then I have to figure out the action. So this is the action, is me getting on here and talking about road trips. Like, earlier today I did a podcast and I talked about Chicago. It was 1 minute. I told a story, and I've told the story on other podcasts where I went to Chicago and I drove out there. It was one of my first road trips. It was amazing, absolutely fun. And then one thing that happened was I wanted a deep dish pizza. And so I order a large deep dish pizza. And what happens? The guy who's taking my order is like, yo, is this for you? Or is this for other people too? And I was like, no, man, it's for me. Like, I'm confused. Like, why is this guy asking me about this? And I thought to myself, when I got it, I was like, oh, this is why he's asking me. Because this is massive. It's literally a giant pie of pizza. And that, made me understand something very well, is that I didn't know what I was ordering, but I do have to say it was very tasty and I really enjoyed it. And yes, it took me all of my road trip to finish it. But that's what I'm talking about. I want to connect. I want to say, hey, listen, I totally understand that it gets hard, it gets rough sometimes to plan trips. But think of it small. Why do you want to go on the road trip? Okay, you want to get away, right? You want to go visit someone. You want to go see something new. Those are all great things. But unless you take the action to go do it, you're not going to do it. And that's what I talked about in the last podcast. So I'm not going to get too much into that. But again, purpose, passion, and action. These are 3 words that you need to use because, again, purpose and passion you can plan those all day long. You can. But unless you take action in your passion, you're not going to get anywhere. And that's tough. I know that's not easy to hear. I get it. For a long time, that's how I was. I was saying all these things. I was planning. I was putting things together. I would put schedules together. I would do all these things, but I wouldn't take action. And I think that's the biggest part of this, is that we got to take action or we're not going to get anywhere. Look, having a purpose is great. That's awesome. You know what you know why you're doing something. That's great. Hey, a passion. You know what you're going to do to pursue that purpose, right? So you have a passion to go pursue that. But the thing is that if you don't take actions, you're not going to get anywhere. And I think that's the hardest part of this all, is that at the end of the day, it's just going to be a hard time. So I was turning there, and it took a moment for all of us to make a decision. So listen, I get that it's not easy. It's not easy. It's really not. I get it. It can be really tough. I'm happy if you found your purpose. Great. Enjoy your purpose. If you're still looking for it, it's okay. But take actions, because maybe in that action you'll find your purpose and passion. And that's what it was for me. You know, the more I do podcasts about road trips, the more I'm passionate about it. I'm more in tune to really want to put this all out here. Look, again, I've talked about this in a couple podcasts. Look, I get it. This may not sound this is my purpose, but it doesn't sound perfect. But I got to get it out there. I need to hone my purpose. My passion. I need to figure out what works, what doesn't work. And as I go along, I'm going to learn these things. And I just want to take little steps here and there. And I'm going to listen to people. You know, right now, I'm watching a lot of creators talk about how to push things on Instagram. I'm watching people talk about YouTube, how to push your product on YouTube, how to bring your podcast up, how to do all these things. Because the thing is that I don't know how to do that. But one thing I do know is there's other people out there who do. Excuse me. And I know that at the end of the day, if I put my ear to the ground and I listen, I know it's out there. I know there's plenty of people who want to teach. And it's for free, a lot of this stuff. So for me, I'm just at the end of the day, like, and you say, well, I don't have a lot of money to pursue my purpose or passion. Okay. Maybe some of you don't actually need money. Maybe it's just getting to the point and figuring out, okay, what can I do for free at first, and then try to make money. I mean, that's what I'm looking for right now. How do I make money with this? That'll be great. But until then, I want to keep putting out the podcast. I want to keep talking about road trips. But again, purpose, passion, and then action. Purpose, passion, and then action. These are things that have to be taken. These are things that have to be put out there. Because if you don't, what happens is at the end of the day, you're going to be sitting there like, oh, it's another year and I've talked about what I want to do, but I haven't actually done what I wanted to do. And I get it's hard. But unless you take action, you're not going to get to the next step. And look, again, I get it. We're all at our different places in life. That is understandable. It makes sense that at the end of the day, we are all in a different place. Cool. I get it. But one thing is that we can all take action. And again, today for me was a long day. There were a lot of obstacles in my way to put out a podcast. But I said to myself, I want to do it this way. I want to put Monday through Friday, I want to do a 1 minute with Shane. And then I want to do a podcast like this. At least once or twice a week, I'm going to put together a longer form podcast to talk about things. And so, hey, if you've listened to this far, great. Thank you. Hey, for some road trip tips, check out the 1 minute with Shane's. They're on my Instagram page, myroadtripsplanner. Also, if you check out Facebook on Shane Coriano, and there's just plenty. And then if you're on YouTube at Shane Coriano, check that out. But hey, the road's open. And listen, purpose, passion, and action. Let's drive.